Well, hello, boys and girls. Today we will be working on Lesson 2 in Unit 20 of our phonics. First, we will review the sight words that we discussed in the previous lesson, and then we're going to continue to practice two-syllable words. At the end of the lesson, I'm going to ask you to read your phonics reader silently or aloud to your learning coach. You will need your whiteboard with your letter tiles, and you will also need your advanced phonics reader number 7 for the end of today's lesson. Do you remember this sight word? Can you say it out loud? That's right. This sight word is brother. Let's spell it together. Ready? B-R-O-T-H-E-R. Brother. Very good. If you have your whiteboard and your marker, please write brother on your whiteboard. Here's the second sight word that we've worked on and introduced in the previous lesson. Do you remember this sight word? That's right. It is sister. Let's spell it together. S-I-S-T-E-R. Sister. Using your whiteboard and your marker, please write the word sister. Can you think of a sentence in your mind using sister? Mrs. Ansell has a sister. I can think of another one using brother. I have 3 brothers. The last sight word, boys and girls, that we worked on and introduced previously is, do you know it? Yes, that's right. This is the sight word baby. Let's spell it out loud together. Spell it with me. B-A-B-Y. Baby. Now with your whiteboard and your dry erase marker, please write the word baby. As you're writing the word baby, be thinking about a sentence in your mind that includes the word baby. I have one. I saw the baby crying. Boys and girls, please continue to practice all of your sight words up until this point, and remember to review the sight words you've learned previously. Sight words are words that you need to know automatically without sounding out or decoding. Let's review a minute making contractions. If you remember in our previous lesson, we talked about making contractions, and when something contracts, it gets smaller. Here we have 2 words. Do you know what they are? Of course you do. Is, not. We can make this word smaller by making a contraction. We will actually remove something and add something. Do you remember what we remove? That's right, boys and girls. If you take a look at this contraction that we made from the 2 words is not, we removed the letter O. Isn't. Isn't is our new contraction. It's smaller. We removed the O, and what did we add? Do you remember the name of this mark? It's a big name. I knew you would remember. It is an apostrophe. Very good, boys and girls. Let's match the contractions and do a little bit more practice together. Take a look at the first 2 words. Do you know them? Did, not. Now let's look at the contractions on the right-hand side. We're looking for the contraction that matches did not. Remember, we usually take away the O and add an apostrophe. Do you know what contraction matches did not? Yes, that's right. Didn't. Let's look at the second group of words. Are not. What contraction can we build using those two words? That's right. Aren't. Remember, we're taking away the O and we're adding an apostrophe. Let's look at the next one. Has not. Do you know which one? Can you find the contraction? That's right. Hasn't. Two more, you're doing great. Was not. That's right. The contraction we can build from the two words was not is wasn't. Remembering, we remove the, that's right, we remove the letter O and we add an, that's right, an apostrophe. Very good. Last contraction, cannot. Yes, can't is the contraction that matches cannot. Let's take a look at can't. If you look at cannot, you will see two N's. This is a special contraction because when we make the contraction can't, we take away the O, but then we take away the second N as well. So be careful and use your good spy eyes. Let's build some words together, boys and girls. Now that we have been learning all of our sounds and working with blends and working with all of our phonics skills, we're going to be able to build words that are much bigger. Let's take a look at the first word we're going to build together. I would like to see if you could write on your whiteboard using your dry erase marker this word. Magnet. We have a magnet on our refrigerator to hang schoolwork. Magnet. What is the beginning sound of that word? That's right. The first sound in magnet is this sound. And that is the letter M. Do you know the second sound? Ah. That's right. The letter A says ah. Ag. Mag. G. That's right. The letter G says G. Ag. Mag. That's the first chunk or syllable. Knit. N. That's right. Listen carefully. N is the fourth sound in magnet. Eh. Eh. Do you know what letter says the sound eh? Absolutely. The letter E. Now let's listen for the last sound. T. T. That's right. Of course, it's the letter T. Let's take a look at this word, boys and girls, and listen to each of the sounds. A, G, N, et. And when we look at that word, we see that because you're becoming great readers and doing so well with building words, our words are getting bigger. That word is magnet. Do you remember what we talked about in the previous lesson about syllables? I gave you 3 different ways to be able to hear syllables. We did some table tapping or fist knocking, whatever you want to call it, and it sounded like this: magnet. If you remember, I showed you a small video that had 2 additional strategies that you could use. That was robot talk. Magnet. That's right. And the third way was holding your hand up underneath of your chin, and every time air comes out of your mouth or your mouth opens, it's a new syllable. Magnet. How many syllables in this word? That's right, boys and girls. There are 2. The first syllable is mag, and the second syllable is net, magnet. Excellent job, boys and girls. Let's build another word. Remember, we're listening for each sound while we're building the word. The next word we're going to build is the word laptop. Many of you probably use your laptop computer to do schoolwork. Do you? I do. Let's listen to the word laptop. What is the first sound in that word? Ooh, very good. Let's find the letter L for the sound ooh. What is the second sound? Ah, very good. L, ah, p. What's the third sound? Perfect. The letter P makes the p sound. Lap. Huh, that's a smaller word that we can build to make a bigger word. Lap. Sometimes my dogs sit on my lap. But if you remember, we're trying to build the word laptop for our computer. Let's build top. T. T. Very good. The fourth sound is the letter T. Aw. Remember, I sometimes say this letter sounds like something I might say with a cute puppy dog. Aw. The letter O. Very good. P. Can you hear the last sound? P. That's right. It's the letter P. Look at that large word that we can build when we're listening to the sounds. Lap. Up. Laptop. I'm curious if you can determine the syllables in that word. Let's see if we can hear them. Laptop. Remember our table tap or our fist tap? How about robot talk? Laptop. I can hear the syllables. Can you? Maybe try the third way. Hold your hand up underneath of your chin and say it with me. Laptop. How many syllables do you hear? Very good. I hear them as well. I hear 2 syllables. Lap being the first and top being the second. Laptop. Excellent job, boys and girls, building words by listening to each individual sound. Will help you to spell them correctly and help you to be able to read them as well. Let's build one more word. If you have your whiteboard and your dry erase marker, I would like you to build the word backpack. Can you build it? Backpack. You may use a backpack to carry your things. Backpack. What is the first sound in that word? Very good. It's the letter B. 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 Ah. That's right. You know that sound. That is the vowel A. Back. K. That's right. You may be thinking, I know the sound that this letter makes. The letter C says K. But if you remember in our previous lessons, sometimes we have two letters that make a sound. And if you remember, CK also makes the sound K. Back. Wow, look at that word. We just built the word back. Now I know if you can spell the word back, then you most definitely can spell the word pack because it rhymes. What does pack begin with? That's right, the letter P. P. Ah. Yes, once again we have our vowel sound A. P. Ah. Now here we are, again listening to this sound that has two letters. K. That's right, just like in the word back. Two letters, C and K, make the K sound. Backpack. Wow! Look at that word, boys and girls. That's a big word. But you have all of the skills to be able to build that word and read that word. Backpack. Let's take a look at the syllables in that word. Let's use all three strategies. Backpack. Let's try robot talk. Backpack. How about your chin? Backpack. How many syllables do you hear? I hear them too. There are two syllables. The first word syllable is back. The second one is pack. Backpack. And when we put those two syllables together, it makes a very large word. Backpack. Excellent job, boys and girls. I am so proud of you. Let's take a look at rocket. Go ahead. Use all three or your favorite strategy to hear the syllables in rocket. There are two chunks. If we take both of those chunks and we push them together, we get a word. Rock, it. Rocket. There are two syllables in the word rocket. Let's take a look at this larger word. Two syllables. This first chunk is chick. In. Chicken. There are two syllables in the word chicken. Let's look at this word. Catching. Catching. She was catching butterflies. Two chunks, 1, 2, put together to make one word, catching. If you listen for chunks and syllables, you will be able to write and read larger words. Let's do a few more. Habit. Hab, it. Habit. When we put two chunks together, we make one word, habit. She has a habit of falling asleep with the light on. Habit. Let's look at one more word. Ooh, this is a good one. 2 chunks, boys and girls. Fin-ish. I bet you never thought that you could read and write correctly the word finish. Putting both of those chunks together, you can read and write the word finish. 2 chunks, fin-ish. Using your strategies, the 3 strategies you know in listening for syllables, putting 2 chunks together to build the word finish. Boys and girls, I would like you now at the end of today's lesson to read the story Quinn and Kent's Lunch in your phonics reader. I first would like you to read it out loud with your learning coach. Remember, if you are making sure that you are sounding out those words, please go back to the beginning of the sentence and begin reading it again so that you're reading it fluently and it sounds like you're talking. Then I also want you to read it silently to yourself, so you'll read it 2 times, one out loud to your learning coach, and then second time you will read it quietly to yourself. Good job today, boys and girls. I'm very proud of you, and I'm so excited that we're beginning to work on much larger words for you to be able to both read and write. Please make sure that you continue to practice those sight words. Go all the way back from the beginning and make sure you know the entire list of sight words up until this point. And make sure that you are practicing that handwriting. Excellent job, boys and girls, and thank you.